Hello there, gang, and welcome to Displaying Model Behavior, the Earth's mightiest video podcast. If you're here for the action figure news, then don't worry, that's coming up later, or you can just click the chapter link in the description below, hop straight to it. But there were a few other stories that I wanted to talk about, and heck, I've got a YouTube channel. So why not? Because it's all within the sphere of the things that we tend to cover. And some very interesting Disney stories, and some quite serious ones too. So this first one I wanted to touch on because it's just quite egregious, and this word's going to come up quite a bit in the next couple of stories. Very tragically, a couple were eating in a Disney restaurant. It wasn't a Disney-themed restaurant, but it was a restaurant on Disney property, Disney parks. And the lady who was there had gluten allergies. And when they went, they told the waiter that they have gluten allergies, and the waiter told the chef, and the chef made gluten-free food, and they put the little flags in, and they knew that it was a safe restaurant because the Disney app told them, this is a safe restaurant for people with gluten allergies. And tragically, that lady was then rushed to the hospital later that evening where she passed away from gluten in her system. And now her widow is going to sue Disney, or he wants to sue Disney for the loss of life and damages, which sounds pretty reasonable. But Disney's response to this is, you can't sue us. You do not have the legal right. You know why? Because when you signed up to a free month of Disney Plus back in 2019, you agreed to terms and conditions which state that any problem you have with Disney will be settled via arbitration and not in the courts. Oh my goodness. That's what they're going with. So anyone, if you have signed up to Disney Plus, myself included, you have agreed that whatever Disney do, you're not allowed to take them to court. You have to sit down in a room and just kind of hash it out between you. It's amazing. And also, the people who are representing the widower, they have said that this is not going to stand up in court, and likely it won't, because it is egregious that Disney put this clause into their Disney Plus contract. Disney Plus, something that has nothing to do with restaurants or theme parks or any of the other stuff outside watching a streaming service. It's really amazing. And it's not uncommon for companies to hide things in the terms and conditions, but very often there is legal precedent for courts overruling things that are hidden away in terms and conditions because it is not actually legal to put huge, big, life-changing type agreements in with all the T's and C's, because it's generally accepted in this world that us, fallible human beings, we don't read them. There was a whole South Park episode dedicated to someone frustratingly trying to get Kyle to read the terms and conditions because we just don't. We sign it, and therefore legally you can't put anything in there that's too egregious, like saying that you're not allowed to take Disney to court if they might be implicated in the death of someone. That's kind of crazy. So I'm reading all of this from the Washington Post. That's where I got my information from. But I'm intrigued to see where this is going to go, because chances are it will go to court, because you can't have that stand up, that you can't take a company to court over the death of someone because you agreed to a Disney Plus free month 5 years ago. Nah. So reports and lawyers say, and are quoted in the Washington Post, which is an article I will link below in the description, that it's highly likely that Disney are going to go to court, because claiming that this little tick box on Disney Plus means you can't sue them in the legal courts, absolutely crazy. So it's going to be very interesting to follow this story and see how eventually it pans out. Another story that has been ongoing for quite a long time now and is only getting more wrinkles in it is the saga of Beau DeMayo, who I'm sure you know was the writer and showrunner of X-Men 97, the show that everyone absolutely adored. And if you didn't, well, honestly, I think you're probably just a little bit of a stick in the mud, because that was phenomenal. What was kind of crazy, though, was that I think it was the day before that show premiered, showrunner Beau DeMayo was promptly sacked by Disney. And no one really knew why. There was only rumors and scuttlebutt, and a lot of it seemed to focus around inappropriate behavior, and maybe he had an OnlyFans that Disney were like, oh, clutch our pearls, we can't have a showrunner with an OnlyFans. It was all very wishy-washy, but as time goes by, we all kind of just carried on with our lives. And then there was the news story that Beau DeMayo has been taken off of the season 2 credits for the next season of X-Men 97. He had written it. And then Disney have said, no, you're off the credits. And Beau DeMayo has come out saying that they have done this because he posted a cartoon of fan art of him semi-clad in Cyclops gear. It was a gay pride post. And he's stating that because he posted this gay pride image, Disney have taken his name off the credits, which sounds a little bit dubious, because even if you might be perhaps overly sexualizing something, Disney are an incredibly gay-friendly company. And that's a great thing for them. It's money. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying, oh, Disney is this wonderful company that embraces all these people. No. They want money. Gay couples have a lot of money. Dual income, no kids. That's a whole lot of spending money that gay folks want to spend at Disney and on Disney merchandise. So they love catering towards this demographic. So firing someone purely for being gay or posting a slightly risque cartoon who doesn't even work for you anymore, you're taking his name off the credits, that sounds dubious. And Disney have shot back. They have actually come out and said, we did this because we have continued our investigations. They did an initial investigation into Beau DeMayo, which led to him being fired. And then apparently they continued their investigations and they found, here's that word again, egregious findings that have led them to make the decision to take his name off the credits. He's claiming it's because of his post, because he posted this on June 4th and was then fired, or had his name removed on June 13th. And I think that might be fishing a little bit, but that's just my editorializing. I'm trying to just state the facts here. So what's really intriguing is that neither side looks good here, because the fact that Disney are not saying exactly what he was fired for and Beau DeMayo is just kind of poking the bear, it's clearly because neither side actually wants the general public to know why he was fired. Because I'm sure, Beau DeMayo, it's not going to look good, and for Disney it will look very bad, because if he's done something really bad, then they will have to say, yeah, he was doing this on our watch and we let it happen and he got away with it for a long time, right under our noses, and we're kind of culpable for that. So they don't want to do that. It's much easier for them to say, no, we did an investigation, we found things and it was egregious, so we had to let him go. So until one side eventually pokes the other one enough that they come out and just say, no, this is what it was, then we're always going to be speculating.
In the deep, deep waters of the Amazon, a throwback to a creature that had existed 100 million years ago.
Over in movie news, James Wan has been reported to be starting work on a Creature from the Black Lagoon project. This is a great reimagining, I guess, or it will be, of the classic old Universal Monsters character, and I kind of like the idea of breathing new life into this guy. Dracula, Frankenstein, they always get the spotlight every few years, but Creature from the Black Lagoon, he's been quite underrepresented. So according to the write-up from TNI News, Deadline has reported that James Wan is currently in preliminary discussions. Okay, but these things often lead to something real. To direct the Creature from the Black Lagoon for Atomic Monster and Universal Pictures. This project could mark Wan's first film following the merger of his Atomic Monster production company with Blumhouse. He's working on a contemporary retelling that emphasizes visceral horror, while honoring the legacy of the original classic. Wan will be responsible for producing the film under the Atomic Monster label, with Michael Clear and Judson Scott serving as executive producers. Jay Polidoro, the Executive Vice President of Production Development, will supervise the project on behalf of Universal. Hey, classic monsters and visceral horror? You got my attention. You know, about 3 years ago, I did a video dedicated to the announcement that Netflix was making a Terminator anime show, and then I kind of forgot about it because we never heard anything, and I was like, did I just imagine that? And then boom, here it is. And now, the same is happening with Ghostbusters. It might be many years away, but Netflix has announced that they are making a Ghostbusters animated show. I'm really hoping this is going to be featuring the classic characters from the 1984 movie. I know not everyone's around to do the voices, but that could be great. Or you know what? Or a new take on the real Ghostbusters, or something new entirely. I don't know. It's just a Ghostbusters cartoon, but it's animation, so you can do anything you want. You can get weird and crazy, and the real Ghostbusters cartoon was surprisingly dark for a kid's show in the 80s. They were pretty heavy at times, and I can imagine that this, exclusive to Netflix, they could get pretty brutal and creepy with their ghosts. I'm excited for this. Let's bring on probably, I don't know, 2027, when we might finally get this on Netflix. And when we do, I'll be watching it day one. Probably. Wonder where I'll be in 2027. Hopefully still doing this. Helverine is getting an ongoing series from Marvel Comics. You know Helverine, one of the newest Marvel legends. Nope. Not that Helverine, though. Wolverine was Helverine when he was Wolverine with the Ghost Rider powers, but now, Logan's son, Akihiro, better known as Daken, is the new Helverine. He was dismembered by Sabretooth in a garbage story that came out a few months ago, and Marvel were very like, oh yeah, he's definitely dead. Oh, there ain't no coming back from that. No resurrection protocols, nothing existing. He is dead. Except for now, when he's come back a couple of weeks later as the new Ghost Rider, aka the Helverine. So he's made his reappearance in the comics, and he's going to get an ongoing series. Helverine gets a new ongoing series by Benjamin Percy and Raphael Lenko starting in November. Marvel continues the tale of the demonically possessed Akihiro, son of Wolverine, in Helverine. Expect hellfire-fueled, claw-slashing action as Helverine teams up with Doctor Strange. Benjamin Percy expands on Helverine's mythos with artist Raphael Lenko, promising more mayhem and occultism. That's a new word for me. So yeah, if you're a fan of ghost riding and Wolverining, then you might be a fan of Helverine. Interesting kind of comic book and card news. Marvel artist Joe Jusko, or artist who is commonly associated with Marvel trading cards. That's a better way of putting it. This dude is very prolific. You've definitely seen his artwork before. He is refusing to sign any XL cards that are brought to him because he says that he wasn't paid for this reuse of his work. According to Bleeding Cool, this is the summary of what's going on. So artist Joe Jusko will not sign any Marvel Masterpieces XL trading cards, citing a lack of compensation. Upper Decks Marvel Masterpieces XL reissues Jusko's 2016 series in a 5x7-inch format. So apparently he wasn't paid for this reuse of his artwork. Jusko posted on Facebook declaring his refusal to sign due to not receiving payment for the XL set. Jusko confirmed he was compensated by Marvel Comics for the covers that he made, but not for the extra use on the trading cards. And also said that he's not trying to discourage people from buying them or supporting anything. It's kind of nice. He's not being a grumpy stick in the mud. He's just saying, yo, I don't feel good about this. He probably didn't say yo, but that's me editorializing. And he was like, I'm not going to sign something that I feel kind of ripped off by. So fair play, Joe Jusko. This dude has been a big part of my action figure, not action figure, but trading card collecting life, especially throughout the 90s. So honestly, I hope he gets what he's due, because that dude, he's put in the work over the years. This I just saw completely randomly posted. I wanted to share it with you because it's kind of fun. An Amazing Spider-Man issue number 14, CGC graded, Angry Girlfriend edition. And you know what? Hell hath no fury, baby. Hell hath no fury. No, I'm going to keep going. Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. Or Dave, unable to say sentences. This was kind of funny. Like, if a picture tells a story, this is exactly that. It's one picture that, oh my goodness, you can read her angry scribbles and all this stuff on here, and the fact that the person got it CGC graded, I kind of dig that. Look, pal, whatever you did, you probably deserve to get your comic book graffitied for it. But also, you know, folks, ladies and gentlemen, leave the comics out of this, all right? They did nothing wrong. But still, I thought this was a fun thing to share.
I am soaking wet right now.
That was a whole bunch of non-toy related news, but I wanted to discuss it and see what you guys think and see if you enjoy this kind of approach to the channel. Or if you just skip past all of that, then welcome to the toy news. So we're going to kick things off. I always say we're going to kick things off, but then in the edit, I shuffle things around. So is this kicking things off? I don't know. We're going to find out. But Moorstorm a company I've not heard of before, but they're doing 1/9 scale Deadpool and Wolverine model kit figures. No price released yet, but this is an officially licensed product. It's easy to assume that this is a third-party kind of thing, but no, this is an official Marvel license. And it's an interesting looking design. It's basically, to my eye, a combination of the fighting armor figures along with some Revoltech Kyoto type designs as well. Sort of smoosh them together and you get this almost Elseworlds looking Deadpool and Wolverine. Definitely not my cup of tea. I mean, for a start, 1/9 scale. Who in the heck collects 1/9 scale? That's kind of just in the middle of everything. But then again, if you don't have a crazy huge psycho collection like I do, then maybe you don't need everything to fit together. So these look kind of cool. I mean, I do like the sort of cyborg android militaristic kind of look of the figures. And yeah, hopefully I can find out more information about them with regards to price and release date. But just as two unusual little bits of Wolverine and Deadpool products, well, there you go. They certainly look unusual. Stop right there. Where do you think you're going? Not before I tell you about our channel sponsor, Legendsverse. Legendsverse, if you haven't already heard, I don't know, maybe this is your first model behavior video, because Lord knows if it's not, then you've definitely heard about our sponsors already. But Legendsverse is the best place to go to curate all of your action figure collectibles. This website has not only Marvel Legends, but Mafex, Select, DC Multiverse, Kenner, Star Wars Black Series. I'm running out of breath just listing them. And not only is it good for cataloging all the figures that you own, but it's so good to go back, way back into time, and look at all the figures that came out, just as a fun little exercise as to seeing where we've come from, because that's how you know where we're going. And also, it's going to help you find a whole bunch of grails that you didn't know exist, just like I found a whole bunch of Ben Reilly Sensational Spider-Man figures that I was like, wait, these, what? Where did these come? How did I not know about these? And how much is it going to cost me to get my hands on them? Well, fortunately, Legendsverse could answer most of those questions. So go give them a follow. They're an incredible resource. I'm a big fan personally. Go check them out.
Tonight, we are the law. I am the law.
McFarlane have shown off the full images of their DC Multiverse figures. We had the sneaky peek images on the last episode. Well, now we got the full reveals. And again, I'm saying nice things about McFarlane because most of these look good. I think that their Dark Knight looks terrific, actually. Grizzled old Bruce Wayne Batman. I think you could put that right next to the Mafex, and at a distance, they're pretty comparable. And the Green Lantern with the swappable heads, so you can have more than one character if you want to buy a couple. That's great stuff as well. Huntress, I feel, kind of lets it down a little bit. I don't like what they've done with the style. I don't want to use a word that's like cruel or like, is it a bad word to use? But she looks kind of frumpy. Is that a mean thing to say? If it is, like, let me know. I think we can say a character looks frumpy. She just looks a bit sort of like, oof, you know what I mean? I think of Huntress as one of the 90s femme fatale type characters, and this one I can just imagine her putting on her boots and going like, whoa, oh, time to go out and fight some crime. I'm not getting the Huntress vibe that I would kind of expect from her, but the rest of the figures do look good though. So 2 out of 3 ain't bad, as some singer once sang. $30 price tag though. That's a little bit expensive, but hey, it is what it is. But yeah, more from McFarlane, and honestly, I think they're showing general signs of improvement across the board, except for the slightly frumpy Huntress, if I'm allowed to say that. There's also different coloured versions of the characters as well, the like McFarlane Collector's Edition versions. So the Batman just has a darker colour scheme, from what I can see, I think. The Green Lantern one is a wolfy alien type head. You Green Lantern fans can tell me who that is. Is it Gnort? Nah, he's someone else, isn't he? I won't even try and guess. And then Huntress has a darker costume colour scheme, which might be a New 52 look, I think. DC fans, if you know, you know. So yeah, you've got different versions that you can get if you want to be a completionist.
In an uncertain world, in a chaotic time, justice wears a mask.
Shall I prepare dinner, sir? I'll get drive-through. Finally, well, I say finally, it's not like I've been demanding it, but we're getting the Batman, not Batman Forever. Yes, Batman Forever, actually. I was right the first time. I shouldn't doubt myself so much. We're getting the Batman Forever Batmobile with Alfred Pennyworth from McFarlane. This feels so weird and wrong. I'm just saying all these nice things about McFarlane. I guess they're making good products. There you go. It goes to show I'm not biased. When they make great stuff, I got to call it like I see it. And I'm seeing some gorgeous looking action figures here for $80 as well. That's a big thing right there. A 1/12 scale, or even slightly bigger because it's McFarlane, Batmobile for $80? Oh yes, please. Absolutely. Got some glow-in-the-dark features as well, which works so perfectly for the Joel Schumacher movies, because the whole aesthetic of those movies was the glowing, garish neon. That was the whole visual style that they chose. So that's going to work perfectly with this. And the Alfred Pennyworth likeness looks great as well. And what's lovely with that is that even though those movies changed wildly and veered in styles all throughout the first four, the one consistent thing was Alfred and the actor who played him. So you can put him with Michael Keaton as well. It all works together. I really love that. I think that's great. So dang it, McFarlane, you got another winner. I can't knock this. I think honestly, both of these together, this set looks really great. Really, really great. So just to be clear, the glow-in-the-dark one is an Amazon exclusive, whereas the regular one, that still has light-up functions, is available on Big Bad Toy Store and Entertainment Earth and all your usual suppliers. And they're going to be available around about, well, they're going to be shipping, actually, from October to November, so not even long to wait.
Owner here. Coffins. Thinking you might need a...
McFarlane have shown off full images of their deluxe Jonah Hex figure. And even though it's nothing but pure pleasure that it brings to my heart to rag on McFarlane, because I find it kind of amusing, I gotta say, actually, it's pretty hard to criticize this. This looks like a really nice set. The fact that you've got all the cloth goods on here, you've got the different guns and weapons. Guns, for a start. A McFarlane figure with guns. I guess Warner Brothers might be softening their stance a little bit in that regard. That's no bad thing. It's real pretty. The horse looks nice as well. I don't think it's particularly articulated, but just as something to stand the figure on. I'm just going to scooch through a couple of photos here, and I can see that the legs do move slightly, so you know, there is some movement there, but just, I mean, you're probably going to have him just riding the horse normally anyway, so that's kind of fine. But yeah, for a deluxe figure from McFarlane, it's hard to criticize. And you know, I love criticizing McFarlane, but they got me here. I think this looks really nice. Fog Toys are doing another version of their Dragon Ball Z bike mech, I suppose. Maybe if you watch the anime, it has an actual name that you can refer to. I'm not familiar. But we had a basic normal looking one that was in a pastel blue kind of color. But now we got this luminescent, not luminescent, but translucent. That's the word I was looking for. This translucent version of the bike. What's a bike? It's got bipedal legs. I don't know what to call it. I'm not a Dragon Ball Z person, but it looks kind of fun. So the first one has been up for about a week now or so. I think these are normally available on 5K Toys. You can probably find them there. And this is a more glowy, fun kind of version. So yeah, you can take your pick. You got two different flavors.
Hello there. I'm here to show you a wonderful place.
The mission of the vaults should be important to everyone.
3-0 are going further with their Fallout line. I think less so the Amazon TV show. I think these are based more on the actual game itself, but also don't get me wrong there. But then again, I might be wrong. But the TV show is so accurate visually to the game that they're pretty much one and the same either way, so I shouldn't really split hairs. So we've got the Vault Soul Survivor figure. Just a couple of pictures to whet the appetite with. This is going to be up for pre-order on the 21st of August, so keep your eyes out for him. 3-0, their wheelhouse seems to be mechs and robots, but looking at this, it's a pretty good-looking human as well. 1/6 scale, so Hot Toys kind of style, and yeah, so far from what I can see, it looks pretty good.
Judge her with your heart, not your eyes.
Oh, this... For an episode that's had some heavy stuff, it's time to just be bonkers and insane, and let me show you some cursed images. Because this... God had no hand in this. This is the work of the devil. What is this creation? Well, you gotta ask who? I didn't even see the name of the product. 1/6 scale Lucifer Clarion Call at Dawn action figure. Well, there you go. It's available at Giantoy, giantoy.com. You can find this nightmare fuel monstrosity. Now look, anyone who's watched this channel for a while knows that I'm a fun kooky cat. I like crazy stuff. I like weird cheesecake. I like nonsense. But this... No, there you go. Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen. We found it. What's the date today? August 17th, the year of our Lord 2024. Dave has found his limit. 1/6 scale soft goods naked horse girl. That's nope. I'm out. I'm out. I'm done. Nope. I don't want that. But I wanted to cover it because it's just like... This is like a Star Trek transporter mishap that's just, well, it's mishapped all over this action figure. Just, who came up with the idea of like, what if we had a centaur, but it's just all flesh and human? It's like, well, that would be horrific. Whoever it was that pitched that idea. Still gonna make it though. $419. If you have $419 that you want to spend on this, then you damn sure better have a YouTube channel membership for Model Behavior, alright? If you can afford that, you can afford $2 a month to help me put out these bonkers videos because you're throwing your money away, pal. Unless, I don't know, actually, who am I to judge? Maybe you see this and you're like, no, don't judge me. This is art. Okay, it's like a curiosity I just wanted to cover with you on here. There are different versions of it and styles. There's a lot to get into. I just wanted to show you the pictures because that way you have to suffer too. So there you go.
Let's party! Go for broke!
Less horrifying though, 5K Toys are showing off 1/12 scale fighting females. Everybody was kung fu fighting, and this actually looks kind of fun. I dig this. Clearly Chun-Li and a hint at a Cammy as well, legally distinct I suppose, so no Street Fighter licensing, just fighting females. So we get from 5K Toys, it says super articulated fighting female figure 3F series. More details coming soon. Well, when they do, I'll let you know, because honestly, yeah, just a little glimpse here. Actually looks good. The face sculpt looks nice. Looks like a lot of articulation in there as well. Bit of a Street Fighter Alpha kind of look as well, and that's good, because Jada are doing Street Fighter 2 at the moment. And Storm Collectibles covering Street Fighter 6. So Street Fighter Alpha, there you go. There's gold in them there hills. Hopefully, more on that coming soon. A little preview of something kind of wholesome and random from Wandering Planet Toys. Not heard of those guys before, but Wandering Planet Toys showed a little sneak peek at their 1/12 scale Laurel and Hardy figures. Certainly the likenesses look good, and just based off that one picture, they look nice. So hopefully more information coming soon.
And why would they be calling you the Dragon Lady?
Is answer question?
5K Toys are also showing off their Kang Toys Dragon Girl. I think she looks lovely. I showed some preview images of this figure, geez, months ago now, I think. But now we're getting the more order details up on 5K. So she's going to be $70, $69, come on, $70, and available around about the fourth quarter of this year. So if you want to put in a pre-order, you're not going to have to wait too long. And looking at these pictures here, I love the turquoise, jade kind of color. I think that's kind of cool. The different facial expressions look nice. The soft-ish kind of goods on there, on the dress and whatnot. The background diorama too. It's a nice looking set. So yeah, I kind of like this. I don't need it, but I dig it.
Backbreaker rack.
Loose Collector are about to embark on something very exciting, I think. I'm a Loose Collector fanboy, and this looks real cool. They're going to do a line of fighting style martial artists. So for a whole list of different fighting styles, they've got them listed here. You can read at your leisure. They're, hopefully, if the line is successful, going to do a character for each fighting style. So the first two are going to be Master Wei Li, doing what looks like Kung Fu maybe, I haven't read the full lineup, and Montez Li, who actually that also looks like Kung Fu. So maybe Wing Chun for the first one. I'll let Loose Collector fill in all the gaps in information when they release more pictures and all that kind of thing. But this looks really fun. If it's going to be 1/12 scale and they scale with things like your Street Fighter characters and whatnot, I love the fact that by the looks of what they're showing here, you're not just going to have all these different martial arts represented, but they're going to go for different countries as well. They want each different country and nationality to have a representation in action figure form. Because obviously we got Master Wei Li with China here, and we got Montez Li with a flag that I'm going to look up. I'm not going to embarrass myself. I know there are probably lots of very intelligent people who are like, Dave, it's obvious what that flag is. I don't know. But the fact that they're showing them gives me a real Street Fighter, World Warrior kind of vibe, and I dig that. So right now the line is going to be called Burning Hammer, and also they've stated that these are aimed and created at being the most affordable, highly articulated figure line that they can make. So normally it's a choice. Is it do you want affordable or do you want highly articulated? If they can mash up the two, find that sweet spot, that's real exciting. So yeah, Loose Collector, bring on more information, because right now I'm here for it. Funko Pops. Is Dave covering Funko Pops again? Yeah, I know. I'm as confused as you are. I guess I've got a bit of extra energy and a bit of extra pep in my step, so I saw these online thanks to Eric Fullen doing the Fullen Report on the Model Behavior Facebook page, and I was like, you know what? I'll give you guys a shout out as well, Funko Pops. At least it's because also you're doing a Christmas line, and I'm a big old kid at Christmas, so there's a lot to be said for that. So what are we getting? We're getting a Harley Quinn, Batgirl, Catwoman. Catwoman looks quite good all in red. I kind of like that. Supergirl and Poison Ivy. These are up for pre-order now, I do believe, on Amazon, Entertainment Earth, all the usual places. And if you want to have a Funko kind of Christmas, then, well, they've got you covered.
See this? This is my boomstick!
Now, this is some video game news I'm really excited to talk about, because Boss Team Games, who I'm not familiar with, but we're going to go with it, Boss Team Games have announced that they are making not only a Halloween video game, but they're making an Evil Dead video game, but also another Halloween video game. So the first one they announced was a more high-end one that they're making in Unreal Engine 5, which is a super deluxe creation suite that you can use to make AAA type games. So I'm guessing that's going to be a real terrifying, nail-biting type immersive experience, which is fine. But it's the other ones that I'm very excited about. Retro Realms, they're going to do Halloween and Evil Dead as 2D pixel games. Oh, this is my jam right here. Just looking at the footage that they've released in these trailers, it just sings to me, man. This is what I want. I'm going to have so much fun with these. And apparently, if you get both of them, then you can do like crossover play and levels where I guess, you know, Ash can either fight Michael Myers or they can do each other's levels. I don't know. It's got a bit of a Sonic and Knuckles kind of vibe to it, which I really, really like. But being able to actually play as Michael Myers, you know, stalking all these babysitters in a 2D house. That's just a lot of crazy, silly fun. And then just running around as Ash with his boomstick and chainsaw. Oh, I hope they get Bruce Campbell to do some voice acting for that. That'll be so much fun. So right now, these are just early announcements, but they are coming. They're in the works, and when they hit, I'm going to be buying them on day one. So excited for these. In Artist Alley, Cedric Poulet, a very prolific comic book artist, done a whole bunch of covers. And I mean, you know exactly why he caught my eye. It's just the cheesiest cheesecake that you're going to find on Instagram. And I freaking love it. He knows how to make characters look so good that it's just eye-popping and completely ridiculous, but it should be because it's comic book artwork. Comic book artwork shouldn't be realistic. It should be aspirational, or even just completely ridiculous. Like the opposite of aspirational, because you look at it and be like, no human being's ever gonna look like that. And no, they shouldn't. But comic characters should, and oh my goodness, this man makes them look amazing. At first I was like, wait, is this just some AI stuff? And then I realized that no, he's got full professional pedigree. His work is out there on comic book covers, and also his Instagram shows the creative process of how he creates these images, and oh my goodness, they look terrific. Go give him a follow. Today's cosplay cover artist is Carolyn Fitt, another one of those awesome bodybuilders who does cosplay, therefore they look exactly like the crazy larger-than-life character that they embody. It was her, is it My Hero Academia, that has the crazy buff bunny girl? That was the one that caught my eye because I was like, oh wow, someone actually looks really like the character who themselves looks kind of larger than life. So fair play to her for clearly putting the work in at the gym, and it shows with the cosplays. Go give her a follow. And folks, that does it for Good News for today. What did you think about the items covered? Comment below, let me know. And I know that I say that every time, but genuinely, do let me know, because this was a bit of a different episode where I covered some heavier topics, and I'm genuinely interested what you thought of those. I tried, especially with the Beau DeMayo case, to be as neutral as I can be, and it's difficult, but it's easy to just talk about toys all the time, you know? But sometimes you want to kind of go outside your comfort zone. That's the only way that growth happens. So let me know what you think. And also, with the different subjects and stuff, the important thing to remember is, I don't know the full story behind these things, and neither do you guys either. Unless Beau DeMayo's watching, in which case, come on, man, just hit me up. Tell me what's going on. So, yeah, let me know what you think. Not so much about the stories, maybe, but how I covered them, or how inappropriately and incompetently I covered them. I can handle the criticism, as long as it's not too personal. Regardless, guys, thank you so much for watching, and until next time. Oh, and by the way, you see all the names going up the screen? Those are the channel members. If you want to help me make more episodes, and you enjoyed the last half an hour, or however long I've been banging on for, then you can get a channel membership. I would really appreciate that. It helps me keep the lights on. So thank you for that. And until next time, keep displaying model behavior.